has made it in form of diamond-shaped structure. And some common problems, because I have 5 minutes to go, some common problems that your nose could have is bleeding. They call it epistaxis. When there is bleeding from the nose, it could be on account of, well, when some people have mucus in their nose that is already thickened, they want to remove it by force. Some people like komatemo, and because of that, blood can begin to gush out. And if there is dryness of the mucosa, it can bring about that kind of, if there is trauma, maybe there is accident, it can bring nose and bleeding from the nose. If there are infection or recurrent catarrh, somebody can have bleeding from the nose. Foreign body that is sharp in the nose could also cause that. If there are cancers in the nose, or there are abdominal problems or perforation of the septum, all these could bring about this problem. How then do you treat nose bleeding? You sit up, you bend forward, you clench your nose at that level, and that prevents it. And you can put some ice packs before you get to hospital for assistance. There are some also problems like sinus problem. When you see some people having catarrh every time and then, morning, afternoon, night, every hour, every season, it becomes a problem that we refer to as sinusitis. And there are 4 of these sinuses in our head, on our forehead. If all this is infected, it could bring about series of discharges that will be coming into our nose. How do you treat? What are the symptoms that patients that have sinusitis could come with? Number 1, they could come with headache. They can come with congestion. They can come with fatigue. They will get so tired. They can come with fever. And sometimes their nose can be smelling. Some people have smelling nose. When they are talking to you, you will cover your mouth. Sometimes they will cough. Sometimes they will have catarrh. Sometimes they will have irritation of the throat. How then do you treat? Let them take plenty of fluids. Let them steam. You can do steam inhalation. Let me also warn you, don't do that for small children. Some of us are in the habit, you want to do steam inhalation. You put your baby inside the hot water and then you cover. It's not meant to be like that. You can use towel. Use towel, soak it in whatever, and then use it to mop the face of the child. Adults can do that. A child can draw that water suddenly and can become a major problem. You know, such an individual should sit with his head elevated and must have adequate bed rest. There are so many complications that sinusitis can bring. Now, let me quickly talk about, foreign body in the nose. How do you treat foreign body in the nose? Our children are so used to this. They take beads, they take all these things they put in their nostril. The moment you see your child having a discharge from one of the noses, not on both sides, and is foul smelling, begin to suspect there is foreign body in the nose. And when this happens, please let us go straight to meet a specialist who can assist us to remove it. What is anosmia? This means loss of sense of smell. Many people cannot perceive odor. No matter whatever, they cannot perceive odor. They have lost the sense of smell, either totally or partially. And what are the different causes of loss of smell? Number 1, it could be that there is a growth that is blocking the nose. There could be an injury to the nose that damages the nerves that is expected to allow you to smell. If you have been exposed to toxic chemical substance, it could be a cause of that. People who smoke, people who abuse codeine, and old age sometimes could be a factor. How do you treat such condition? If it is something that you can relieve by using cold packs, you can do that. You can treat infection. You can remove the growth if it is possible. Because having such a problem could be a psychological problem. Even when the aroma of food is good, you cannot perceive it. If a house is burning you cannot perceive it. I had an instance of a man who cannot perceive smell, and they put on a generator behind his house. The fume was coming, but he could not perceive, and the children were sleeping in the house. So until the smoke overwhelmed them, and the whole family perished on account of that. So it was then the wife came around. The wife went for a program, and by the time she went, she said, my husband cannot perceive smell. So having a problem of anosmia could be a psychological problem, and it can actually be treated when you get to an hospital if it is not a neural problem that has affected the nerves. The last thing I want to quickly buttress is throat. What are the functions of throat? Throat is in the anterior part of the neck. We use it to swallow. We use it to make sounds. I want to warn as many of us, when you open your mouth, you see something coming down in your throat. Many of us say, yes, they will go to Hausa to cut it. It is dangerous. People are bled to death on account of this. In fact, the surgeons, they don't remove it any longer. They have a way of packing it. It is not tonsils. It is uvula, and it is what allows you to make sound. Okay? So, please, don't just go to anybody to remove such things. And some people will say, it's touching. Yeah, this thing is touching my tongue. It's touching my tongue. Let us go and remove it. No, it shouldn't be so. So, our throat is used for so many things. We use it to make sound. We use it to swallow. And the tongue is powerful, okay, muscle that facilitates chewing and swallowing, and also speaking and tasting food. All this is in our mouth. Now, most of the time, the problem that could happen in the throat is the tonsils. The tonsil is like it's just like a fighter that fights infection. And this occur more in children. When you see a child you have treated for malaria several times, check his tonsils. You find out the tonsil sometimes is inflamed. He has some infection. So you may treat malaria 100 times. Once you have not treated that tonsils, that child may not get better. So on such condition, we always encourage use antibiotics once you examine. So, and if there is tonsillitis, what should you do? Or what are the symptoms? Someone with tonsillitis, we explain, or we have what we call